and welcome to your Tuesday. It is February 4th. Starting off nice, not as beautiful as it was yesterday. A little chilly. And of course, we had our What the Weather segment with our aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore on yesterday. And he talked about literally going from what felt like summer all the way into the possibility of some snow that we'll be talking about for you very soon. Good morning to you. You're tuned in to the Real Monica Adams Show, and we're going to give you a little news you can use. We're also going to talk today about faith, spirituality, religion. Are they different? You know, I've talked a lot about the whole mind, body, spirit connection. I call it the triangle of life, mind, body, soul. We'll talk deep about that today, but I want you to interact as much as possible. I'm really, truly just going to start it after we do our news you can use, talking about faith. Like, literally, give me the description of faith. I find this interesting because I was watching a show the other night and it was talking about percentages of different generations. So are you a Gen X? Actually, let me know that as well. I really would like to know our demographics of that are watching from all the different platforms. So tell me where you're watching from, and are you a Gen X, a Gen Z, a millennial? Are you a baby boomer? What category do you fit into? And what would you consider yourself? Faith-based? Religious based? Do you think the two can intertwine? We're going to talk a little bit about this today with just you and I. And then I'm really excited. I've been wanting to get this guy on for a while now. Next Tuesday, I've got a pastor that's going to be joining me. I actually saw him as a guest at the crossing. He was in the Fenton location probably about, I'd say 4 or 5 months ago. His name is David Hawkins. Have you ever seen him, by the way? He's a pastor and an author who leads Living the Word Church in Collinsville, Illinois. So all of you over on the Metro East Side, maybe you've had a chance to see him before. He is humorous. He is passionate. He just lit the place up. And I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. I'd really like to see him at his church. So maybe we do a Monica's Maniacs tour. I've talked before about wanting to do kind of field trips of churches, because for me, and this is what I wish the whole world would be like, I think we all should be open-minded. Let's go to a Baptist church. Let's go to a Lutheran church. Let's go to a Catholic church. Let's go to what would be considered non-denominational. Isn't that the way we all get along a little bit better in life? That's how I feel, at least. Why be so close-minded to only one religion when what we need to know is how everybody is feeling around us, and then how we all come together? So I was watching this show, and it was talking about percentages and who fell into the highest percentage that considered them spiritual, and then a very low percentage that considered themselves atheist or agnostic. They also went around and said, do you know the difference? Do you actually know the descriptions and the difference of atheist, agnostic? What would you consider Christian? It was interesting that other religions would say, oh, no, you're not Christian. And I thought, well, I grew up as a Catholic. Of course we're Christian. But it was like a Muslim faith saying, no, you're not Christian, or a Baptist faith saying, no, you're not Christian. Very interesting to have this conversation and to calmly have the conversation, right? That's what we really need in life. So we're going to discuss that today. But then next week, we're going to bring that pastor on. And I'm telling you right now, you want to be lit up. He is going to light you up like never before. And I really want to talk to him, go a little bit deeper into this conversation and give him some feedback of what happens on today's show. All right. Before we get to that, let's talk about the weather. I mentioned really warm as you headed out yesterday. Today, 46, still nice to see that sun, but then tomorrow we lose that. 33 for a low tonight. Tomorrow, as you can see, absolutely no sun whatsoever. The high of 43. It looks like we've got some rain likely. 52 for a high, so getting a little bit warmer on Thursday. Friday in the mid 40s. Saturday, 49. And then we get into Sunday, 40. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. You can see that word, that 4-letter word that we hate. It says snow. So there is a possibility of some rain in our forecast over the next few days, and then the possibility of some snow coming next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, we're a little bit far out at this point, so we'll be checking in with the man himself, or I should say the young gentleman himself. We'll check in with Beckett Moore in our forecast coming up in our What the Weather segment on Friday. All right, let's get to some news you can use, and we'll start off with Lambert International Airport seeing the highest number of travelers in over 20 years. Wow, in 2024, over 15 million travelers moved through St. Louis Lambert International Airport, marking its highest total in over 20 years. We're talking about 15,946,730 travelers, the highest since 2003, when just under 20.5 million passengers flew through the airport. The total passenger number from 24 is also 7.1% higher than in 2023. So nice to see travel coming back when 14,886,000 traveled through St. Louis again in 2023. The previous high mark of just over 15 million passengers was back in 2019. So obviously the airport director said, we are very pleased with last year's performance. We believe the trajectory will only increase in the coming years. This recent 20-year high shows the strength of our relationships with our airline partners and the support that we receive from the region as we all focus together. I love that word, right? Together on growing St. Louis. I was a little worried there for a while. People have been talking about how they were disappointed with our particular airport. We talked about some changes that were supposed to be coming, pulling both of the terminals together. That still obviously hasn't happened. Again, the word is out there that it was going to. We'll see, but nice to see. Don't you agree? Nice to see travel is back. Well, this isn't unfortunate, and it's just a demise again of the city. Did you ever go to Blondie's restaurant? I was there, I think, maybe once. Well, a local coffee and wine bar that's operated in downtown West for over a decade is now out of business. Blondie's was just off of Washington Avenue. They shared on their social media that they are closing. They also thanked people for their support over the last 13 years. But yet again, as I mentioned, more and more people, why do you think it closed? Is it because of the feeling of crime in the downtown area? Is that what you think? Just a lack of people going into the city? As I mentioned, did you ever even go there? I actually thought it was really cool. Went there maybe once, maybe twice, but it's been, I mean, again, they said for over a decade. I haven't been in probably 9 years, probably when they first opened their doors. I'm seeing more of that, not just on Washington Avenue, but also in the downtown area, downtown West area. But then you've got all these people that are thinking out of the box and trying to open new places. So again, we've got to figure out, but I think a lot of people believe that we need to get different people in office to figure out how do you get people to get back into the city, and not just for a Blues game or a Cardinals game or a St. Louis City SC game or a Billikens game, etc. It is not to go in and then get out, because we all used to what? We all would go downtown and stay downtown and give the business to those downtown small businesses, which again are desperately needed. But we then see restaurants that don't invest in downtown. Instead, they go elsewhere. Have you been here? The guy who owns this place is so cool. We interviewed him back when I was, I think at Channel 2. Grace Chicken plus Fish expanding. And this new location, by the way, is coming to Crestwood. It's the people behind Grace Meat Plus 3. They're planning to open this sister restaurant. And with this new location set to open sometime this year, it sets the possibility of opening 3 to 5 more locations in the future. The new location will be called Grace Chicken and Fish and will be located in the building that was formerly King Edward Chicken and Fish, which was in the 8600 block of Watson. According to the owner, he says it was important for us to find the right person to carry on the tradition of King Edward's as a gathering place for family and friends. That's the co-owner of King Edward's Chicken. Rick and Grace Meat Plus 3 were the perfect fit to continue that legacy. Chef and owner Rick Lewis was a James Beard Rising Star Chef of the Year semifinalist back in 2014, and he says guests can expect a newly renovated look, but with the same Southern flavor of its original recipes. Yum! I am hungry already this morning. All right, what about our Rams money? What in the heck is going to happen with this? Get it over with. That's what they're saying. After weekend drama, St. Louis BOA to discuss Rams money today with the possibility of carving out $40 million for water upgrades. Just get on with it already. Do something with it and start to get the money allocated. And then this one, I swear, every time we turn around, there's something new that is being recalled. Broccoli florets this time. I mean, all of you are like, well, you know what? I'm just going to eat crap. I'm not going to eat healthy, right? Because you got carrots and then eggs and all these problems we've had. Broccoli florets now sold at Walmart, recalled after being considered deadly. In a notice published on January 27th, the FDA upgraded its current classification of market-side broccoli florets to Class 1, which is the most severe type of recall, so do not take this lightly. It was sold at Walmart, and it's being recalled in 20 states after being labeled deadly by the FDA. These are 12-ounce bags created by Braga Fresh They were originally recalled on December 27th as a precautionary advisory for the risk of being contaminated with listeria. And we talked about that back then. So we always want to do follow-ups for you. The recalled products, listen to this. They have a UPC code, and you can go back and rewind to get this. The UPC code is 681131 32884-5. It's on the back of the bag. It has a best by date of December 10th, so you would hope that you would have eaten it already and got rid of it. The product also contained a lot code, which was BFFG 327A6. Walmart locations that received the potentially affected product are located in multiple states, including Illinois. I will tell you, however, Missouri is not on there, but we know we have people watching in several states. So we're talking Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Colorado, Idaho, again, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Texas, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. So if you have people in any of those states, send them this story. We always ask you to share, like, follow our segments each day. Make sure they know about this one. If you believe you have an affected product, the FDA is recommending you throw it away immediately. Again, this is not something to take lightly. This time we're talking deadly. All right, our St. Louis Blues fans, today is your day. The Blues launching a one-day, no fees ticket promotion. You got to love this, giving fans the opportunity to purchase tickets with no applicable fees. The sale will start today, waiving fees for all remaining home games on Ticketmaster. There's an 8-ticket limit per game. To purchase tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. Pretty cool, right? We need to have those fees wiped away. They are absolutely ridiculous. Okay, there you go. 7:13. Now you're all up to date in news that I think you might want to use. You might want to, we used to call it water cooler talk, that you would want to go around and tell your family and friends. Again, some serious ones, some fun ones, and some unfortunate closures, but give you like the ebb and flow, right? Somebody's closing their doors on Washington Avenue. Somebody's opening their doors in Crestwood. If you're outside of our area, let us know where you're watching from. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then today, I want you to be as interactive as you possibly can. As we go to the break, just do me a favor. Give me, what do you think the definition of, we'll start with this, spirituality is? What would you consider if someone said that you were spiritual? What does that mean to you? All right, we'll talk more about that when we return.
Monica, I can't thank you enough for having me on your show. I'm just so blessed and grateful. Finding people like yourself and those that you interview is priceless. Being able to spread hope and joy, love, empowerment, encouragement, and letting everyone know that sharing their story is extremely powerful, and their story is so unique, and they need to share their story because you don't know who you will impact and change, and it could change the trajectory of someone's entire day or the trajectory of their entire life by just hearing your story. And for you to be able to share everyone's story and let people know they're not alone, thank you so much for doing that. And the intentionality is fabulous. I love you already. We've known each other for several months now, but I'm so glad that we were able to do this together, and great things to come. So thank you so much for everything you do. Your show is amazing. You are amazing, and you're just an inspiration to everyone. So I appreciate you. I'm blessed to be here, and thank you.
Well, thank Zach, by the way. I didn't get a chance to really see that one yesterday. I don't know if you saw yesterday's show, but this is also something that we've talked about in the past, giving yourself some grace and getting rid of the perfectionism mentality. I felt really bad for my director yesterday, Zach Kimball. He was learning some new equipment and just wasn't on the top of his game yesterday, did all that he could. But look, I said, today's a new day. Let's wipe it off. I do want to, can you do me a favor and send the well wishes to him as far as his spirit is concerned. It's something that's very difficult to do in life when you have a pet and you have to put a pet down. So he, unfortunately, our director, Zach, has to put his cat down today. And so that's why I said, look, I've got a really big heart and I understand. I've been there before. Unfortunately, I have to we put 3 dogs down in a 9-month time period and had to put another one down that was hit by a car a couple years before that. So it's a difficult thing to do. And I do not wish that on anyone, but that's what he's going through today. So I told him to take the day off and that I would run the show today. And then we'll be back together next week with our guests. We've got some things, of course, that I'll tell you about planned this week. But please, can you do me a favor and just tell him how much you love him? Tell him thank you for everything that he's done over the last year. And our thoughts and prayers are going out him today with him today. Again, I don't care whether it's a cat or it's a dog or it's a monkey. I don't care what you have, but when you bring that into your house and it becomes a part of the family, it's never an easy thing to do. So that's why I'm home today running the show for you. And I appreciate you being on and all the kindness that you share, not just to me, but to my entire team and actually to our entire community. Well, let me say hi, by the way, to all of you. Sean Fitzgerald was the first one on right away. I love my Monica's Maniacs. They're there already shouting out to the community. Linda, good morning to you. Kathleen Morris, good morning. Good morning, Julie Fabian. These are the Monica's Maniacs. Julie Purcell, good morning. Of course, Michelle, thank you for being up and moderating for us. Okay, Sean Fitzgerald says that Sean is a Gen X. I asked earlier, what category do you fit in? Because I'd like to know our demographics. Where are you watching from? And what is your category that you fit in? Julie Fabian says she's Gen X from Chesterfield. So the poll I'm going to tell you about has to actually do with every generation, but Gen X in particular. And I want to know if you agree with this poll. Kathleen Morris is a baby boomer. All right. Linda Eckert says good old baby boomer. Michelle, yesterday was gorgeous. Went for a working hike, got my vitamin D and a great workout. Fantastic. Tom Miller, well, hello to you. Great topic. You know what, Tom, do me a favor because you fit in this category. Tom, tell me, what do you consider spirituality and faith to be? If you're still on, I hope that you are. Tom's watching on Facebook. Tell everybody where you're watching from, Tom. I love that we are spreading and spreading and spreading. Tom's not in our immediate area, by the way. Michelle, thank you for everything you did for the news you can use that you were dropping in. Angie, good morning to you. Michelle said, Amy Post, thank you for your kind words and for joining us on the show. Of course, yes. Sorry to hear about the cat, Michelle says. Kathy Anselmo, good morning. Joe, good morning to you. Baby boomer, Kathy says, sending thoughts and prayers to Zach during this difficult time. All right, we're hearing from some of you on Facebook and YouTube. Let me pop over to Instagram. Good morning to Hats by Diane. Great to have you on. Angela Gibbons watching from the UK. I love the fact that we are going and going and going. St. Louis Ovarian is watching us this morning. We've got something big with Sloka coming up in a handful of months. Can't wait because they do incredible work, the organization that they have. All right, today, Tom, if you're still on, please do me a favor. I'd love to hear from you. But I went to the break. I was asking for all of you, anybody, just start the conversation. What do you consider spirituality? And this is something that I've always found to be very interesting. I think sometimes people don't believe that the two can intersect. I disagree with that. Look, religion and spirituality. In this, what does this picture means to you? Do you think that that means that they can overlap, that they can intertwine, that we can connect? On my whole thing of we can all get along, I believe that that is in fact the case. And I see looking at this and I would agree with that. But what does the word spiritual mean to you? Get clear on the definition and you'll notice yourself having spiritual experiences more often. Now, I'm going to tell you that there was a conversation that I had with a young girl yesterday. I'm going to think that she probably fell more in the Gen Z category. And she wanted me to pass this along. She said that some people believe that they have a spiritual interaction by their actual physical place that they are in. Now, I can see where she's going with that. Let's say you're going to Arizona and you go to the Grand Canyon. You step upon the canyon. You don't even get into the canyon, but here it is. And I just felt it. You have these goosebump moments. We just talked about that with Kelly Lang, country music sensation. And she's got a brand new song out where she says, that lump in your throat, what is that? The chills that you get, what is that? And she believes it's Jesus speaking. I believe her as well. I also believe that it's those that have left us up above trying to get messages to us. Do you agree with that? Do you consider that to be a spiritual awakening? That the more and more in tune you become to that, the more experiences you have in life? Tell me what you feel about that. Yes, thank you. Julie says, sending thoughts and prayers for Zach. I had to do this. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Julie. Had to do it 2 weeks ago. My first family pet. Spirituality, okay, is what we're talking about. So, how do you get in touch with your spiritual side? And I want to know, again, it's this simple. Just tell me, do you feel that if someone says that they are religious, that they can be spiritual at the same time? It is my belief that the answer to that is yes. Okay, let's go a little bit in depth into this. So this particular slide that I pulled, I thought was interesting. 5 types of spirituality. We're going to break these down for you. So you can take a snapshot of this, maybe think about it a little bit more, or maybe you want to educate some people that you talk with. Mystical spirituality. Authoritarian spirituality. Intellectual spirituality, service spirituality, and social spirituality. Janet, I'm not sure either. Janet said that she lost us and didn't know what happened. Well, I'm glad that you're back. Here we are. So let me know this. As you look at this slide, do you feel that you fit into one of those categories more than other? Do you think that one of those words, because somebody was looking at this with me and thought, ooh, when I hear authoritarian, I don't know if I feel a sense of calmness. I thought that was interesting to have some feedback on when you think of spirituality that you want to feel whole. I would agree with that. That you want to feel calm. I would agree with that. But when people hear the word authoritarian, sometimes I don't know. I according to this particular girl, she said it kind of made her on edge, and that she felt that it was more someone pointing instead of guiding, like pointing and saying it has to be this way or that way, and you can't fall into this category or that category. Okay, I'm going to talk about also from the standpoint of what I would consider people leaning towards more of what Eastern culture medicine. You talk about chakra points, which I look at this and that's what I see in it. That top one, this is the one that we all try to tap into, right? You talk about, does anybody, by the way, that's watching right now, or if you watch later, do a hashtag replay for me. Anybody see in color? Okay, I've talked to Michelle about this before, and she's like, wow, yeah, you're really in touch with this. I feel that I am very in touch with my spiritual side. So when we're talking about meridian points or we talk about chakra, people that really tap into their spiritual side, they start saying that when they close their eyes, they see color. And look, we're looking at purple, we're looking at blues and greens and yellows and oranges and reds. All of those points are connected to something. The very top one is your crown chakra. And look, I grew up, and let's come back to this for a second before we go into our next slide. I grew up in a Catholic upbringing. And my mom and I still will go. She'll stay at the house and I'll take her up the street to a Catholic church. But then I'll also go, and this is what I talked about at the beginning of the show. I'm more intrigued, right? I'm fascinated and excited by, well, what is being taught over here? So somebody introduced me to the Crossing. I've also been to a beautiful Lutheran church in St. Charles County. I then used to ask, hey, where do you go? Invite me. I'd love to go to this church. I mentioned at the beginning that we've got a wonderful guest next Tuesday. He leads Living the Word Church in Collinsville, Illinois. He's a church strategy consultant. He's a speaker. He's a pastor. He's an author. He actually got his bachelor's degree in business administration from Mizzou, but then he got his Master of Arts in theology from Covenant Seminary, and just an extremely passionate speaker and pastor. We're going to have him join us next week. And I want to go a little bit deeper into this to say, where do you think we are in the world right now? Okay, so some of you were telling me that you're Gen X or baby boomer or Gen Z. Those of you that responded, I know there's about 30 of you on right now. What would you categorize yourself as? Don't be afraid. I am so used to you all interacting with me, and I hope that you'll do that today. Just tell me if you consider yourself to be spiritual. And if so, what are you? Robert Owen says awesomeness from Facebook. Robert, where are you watching from? And evidently Tom must have signed on and signed off. That's unfortunate. My cousin Tom, he used to be in the Texarkana border. I don't know where he's living these days, but Tom is actually a pastor. So he's in that realm. Good morning, Tony. So Tony, what about you? Do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person? If so, what does that mean to you? This is what we're trying to break down. So I've heard all too often from every generation. And we've talked about taking Gen Talk or generational talk and having somebody over here that falls in the teenage category or their early 20s, and then someone that maybe falls in 30, 40, 50 or up. And in this particular poll that I saw, it was you, Gen X's, that said it was actually 62% of Gen X, again, that were polled that considered themselves to be spiritual, and a very small percentage, about 13%, considered themselves to be atheist. Nobody fell into the agnostic category. Again, do you know the difference between the two? I asked you that earlier. But they consider themselves to be spiritual. And when they were asked, what about religious? They said, no, we're spiritual. And I found that answer to be extremely interesting. My personal belief, and again, I want you to challenge me on this. My personal belief is you can be religious and spiritual at the same time. Why can't you be? If you don't feel that you can, I want you to tell me, why can't you be? The person that's over my shoulder, let me see, she's right here, one of the most devout Catholics that I've ever known. This is my beautiful mother, right? So my mother raised me and my brothers in a Catholic family. I should say my mother and my father, right? I love my upbringing. In fact, I always say that I thank that because that gave me the foundation of who I am and my beliefs and my connection to God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, the whole Trinity aspect of it all. It gives you that foundation. Now, the thing I was telling you earlier about what this young girl felt, she said that some people don't, she believes that some people don't feel the connection to faith unless they are actually outside. And then she said, if you say that to a person who's Catholic, that wouldn't even make sense to them. And I was like, well, that's not actually true, because yes, maybe your mindset is thinking you have to go inside of a Catholic church to have the connection to your faith. But I know of a particular church that's in the Ozarks that is Catholic, and they teach outside. So it's not that you can't take a step outside, or retreats that are held by a Catholic organization. So that doesn't actually bode, in my mind, to be true. I don't care whether you're Lutheran or Catholic or Buddhist or Baptist. Honestly, what I care about is that you have a higher power that you're connecting to. All right, here we go. I'm looking for you all to interact. You're a little quiet today. I was born and raised Pentecostal. Okay, this is Julie. She said, I met my husband. He was raised Catholic. Very much of a struggle. See, and that's what I'm trying to break down. Why? Just like the Gen X talk, I want to have the faith and spiritual talk, because it shouldn't be a struggle. Why can't a Pentecostal person and a Catholic person say, I'm so excited that we have a connection to a higher power, right? That we're guided by a higher power. She said, we have ended up Catholic, but I like to visit a church that plays close to my Pentecostal upbringing. All right. Audra says, good morning, very spiritual. All right. Can you explain the difference though? What do you think the difference is between spiritual and religious? Audra, tell me that. Very spiritual, she says, not religious. I think you can be both. Raised Catholic, and she says she's Gen X. Okay. If you're spiritual, what does it mean to you though? So when I talk about the connection, and this is that triangle of life theory, mind, body, soul. Get a connection of mind and how we're thinking and how we become educated. The body, the movement of the body, what it can do for us. And then the interaction to the soul, and tying all three of those together, and how beautiful it is when they are all balanced and working on multiple levels. So think about you being this person, okay? This is you. No matter whether you're watching live right now, you share this, and do me a favor, just keep sharing, because we wake you up, we get you thinking, we got these light bulb moments, we get you talking to your family and friends, and like, hey, I was watching Monica's show this morning and she really got me thinking. That's what I want to hear from people. I really got you thinking, and I really got you talking. So I want you to be this person. And when I talk about light bulb moments, that's exactly what that is right there. That person's getting the aha moment of, all right, when I sit here balanced, and maybe that looks like what? Meditation. That looks like calm breathing. When we talk about this, and I talk about it a lot with my personal training clients or my life coaching clients, I want to help those people on multiple levels. Do you think if I'm helping them in the realm of meditation, telling them to go and learn breathing, sit out by a tree, find some way to calm the mind, is that falling in a category of spirituality and faith, but it separates from what I learned growing up in religion? I don't think so. I think when I went to church, a Catholic church, that the priest was up there trying to get me connected to feel again. So this person sitting here in the middle, what does that look like to you, right? So when I show you these different kind of slides, is there an awakening that you get? Or does it just lie there? I would hope that it makes you start to think, makes you start to question, or it makes you start to talk with others. So, wisdom, we're all seeking that, aren't we? Peace. I don't know how many times I hear people use that word of how do I get to a more peaceful state of mind? All right. So, we go back to wisdom and peace connecting to the mind and the calmness aspect. Joy, we're looking for eternal happiness, love in multiple levels. And I love that that's in the center of the person sitting there. Love in multiple realms, from a actual romantic love to a love of a parent and a child, to a love of two best friends, to a love of what you do for a living. Self-love is probably one of the greatest, right? Bliss. What does that mean to you? Purity. Okay, so people think of religion and they think of being pure, but why can't be spiritual pure? And then power. Some people hear that word and they think that's egotistical mindset. No, in this particular realm, they all come together. They're all swirling around this person. And if we put all those together, do we feel that we're whole? Let's talk again. If you're just tuning in, 7:32, tuned into the Real Monica Adams Show, do me a favor and text, tell people, hey, this is a really great conversation that we probably need to have more. We need to go deeper with this. Spirituality, the aspect of humanity that refers to the way individuals seek and express meaning and the way they experience their connectedness to the moment, to the self, to others, to nature. Again, that young girl that was talking to me yesterday said some people don't feel that they can have a spiritual awakening unless they're out in nature. And to the significant or the sacred. This is from the director of the George Washington Institute for Spirituality and Health. So yes, there's an actual institute for this. But we're going back and forth, just like I did from a medical standpoint. We did Medical Monday many, many months ago, and I said, traditional medicine. I originally said traditional medicine versus functional medicine. And I really should have just said one can be intertwined with the other. Do we not think that? There are some who are book smart in our medical field that no, they do not think that one can blend into the other. I disagree. I'm a person who knows when it's time to go to a traditional Western culture medicine doctor. But then I also love, what about all of you? Where do you fall? Again, I like to know my audience. Where do you fall in that aspect? Do you try as much as you can to be more proactive in your health and take care of yourself and go and do things naturally until you have to go to a Western culture doctor? We're looking at this slide, spirituality and religion. And the spirituality side, I always think when someone talks about spirituality, it's like that, or the whole thing of Om, right? Putting the thumb and the middle finger together and sitting in calmness, sitting with your legs crossed, sitting out in nature and being in that calm state. Don't we all want that more though? So if someone is really tense when I talk about this, and I can see it's almost like one of those things where people say, oh, you can't talk about religion. Why? We're calmly doing it today. And I wish that I was in front of all of you in a live audience, because I would take that microphone around and it would be a little bit more organic and natural for you to go ahead and speak to me. Maybe you write it later. Maybe you're not ready right now. Maybe you don't want the rest of the community to comment with you. I don't know why that is. And I'm going to tell you, the more we're silent and the more we don't open up, the more we just stay exactly as it is. It almost could be like crickets right now. No one's talking, right? That's not what we need in the world. I'm giving you these topics, asking you, not telling you. If you're a little nervous, I'm still trying to figure out why that would be. For me, anybody could come, put a microphone in my face and say, Monica, excuse me, what is spirituality to you? To me, it is a sense of unbelievable connection and joy, sheer excitement. Excuse me. Still getting over this thing that I had. It is believing in a higher power, believing in God, believing in Jesus, believing in the Holy Spirit, believing that we can do good in this world. If I had none of that and I was stripped down, I would feel extremely alone. And if that is how you're feeling right now, what I'm doing today is to try to get you to feel connected to the world all over again, because there are people around that are just so afraid to talk. And I don't get that. So afraid to profess their faith, saying the word faith. Oh my gosh, is somebody going to judge you? Why would they? They would say, oh my gosh, you seem to be so in a sense of calmness and balance. To me, someone who is faith-based, spiritual-based, religious-based, it's it's connection. Okay. So today my word was connection. Let's use it. That's my intentional word of the day. I'm trying to connect to you to make you feel that you're not alone. People who don't have self-love, people who are constantly berating themselves or letting others have power over them. We used the word power earlier. If you feel that you have others that constantly have power over you, don't you feel lost? And if you're lost and you don't have faith, then can you honestly tell me, where do you turn? What is it that you have inside of you or around you that helps you get up every day? That helps you be thankful for the breath in your lungs. That's my prayer every day. Thank you, God, for the breath in my lungs for another beautiful day here on your earth and giving us the opportunity to do something beautiful with it, to carve out, to be your painter, right? He paints these beautiful things in the sky. A little cloudy right now today, but when he puts these beautiful colors in the sky, I mean, where do you think that comes from? If you don't believe, and I know there are small percentages, and feel free to be honest and tell me if you feel you're atheist. If you really truly don't have a belief whatsoever. And let me ask this, by the way, we're asking whether you can be spiritual and religious. Can you be more scientific minded and also find your way to spirituality? Because we think about the show, The Big Bang Theory, right? And those guys, every one of them. I love Sheldon, of course, but they were saying, people who watch that say, okay, see those type of guys of being so science-based, they would not believe in religion. Why? Because the way the earth began, we're going to have that conversation that they don't believe that God started this. Again, give it to me. It's not that I'm going to say you're wrong, I'm right. No, that is, by the way, the problem that we have in this world. It's the whole you're wrong, I'm right mentality, or I'm wrong, I'm right, you're wrong mentality. How in the world do we get anywhere with that mindset? We have to have more of this. Compassion. I'm talking about an awakening, folks. Enlightenment. Please, that's what we're saying today. Enlighten me with your mindset so that I can go, oh my gosh, I've never gotten it before, but today I get it. Now you've made me understand. Inner peace. There's that word again. Joy. There's that word again. Ooh, this is a big one. Forgiveness. And karma. I actually like the word karma, but I know a lot of people use it in a negative connotation and they say karma is a you know what. Okay, karma can be a beautiful thing though. And if someone does nothing more than be kind to you and try to lift you up, well, that karma comes right back to them. I'm telling you, the more you seek out positivity, the more you seek out people that are doing good in the world, that it means that you're actually wanting that, right? You're trying to draw that. It's the magnet aspect of the law of attraction. You're drawing that to yourself. But on the other side of it, it's the exact same thing. You think of a battery in your car, the draw of negative energy, the draw of positive energy. We actually need both in life. Why would we? We need to learn from what doesn't serve us, and we need to surround ourselves with more of what does. All right. I like to see the comments coming in. We're going to go and let you speak. Again, I want the simplest part of all. I'm still looking for you to give me your definition of spirituality. What do you consider to be spirituality? Let me know that, and we'll talk about some exciting things to come this week and into next week.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
All right. Good morning again. If you're just tuning in, welcome aboard. We got about 35 on with us right now. Probably even more than that because I can't see my Instagram people. St. Louis Closet Company, hello to you. Every day I walk into my closet, by the way. And if those of you didn't see the show, thank you to Jennifer, who is the owner of St. Louis Closet Company. We had an incredible organization show at the beginning of January. And truly, every day I get excited to take my jacket off, take my shoes off, take my jeans off, whatever, put them right where they belong in their own own little cubby. I never had that before. So it's the simple things in life that make us happy. So thank you, Jennifer, if you are on St. Louis Cards fan, Rose Pinky over on Instagram. Sassy Audra is on Instagram. And I think she's also maybe watching on, she's also watching on Facebook. Okay, so let's go to your comments. Rose says, I was raised Catholic. I got nothing out of it. My husband and I go to a Christian church, and it brought out the best of my husband and I. Okay, tell me, so what changed in you? See, so that kind of goes into the aspect of awakening, right? So do you think, though, your upbringing, you said you didn't get anything, and I really, we have to think about life and where we don't connect, right? So I can go all the way back as a little girl, probably in second or third grade. And I'll never forget Father Doherty, one of the most incredible priests that I ever had in the Catholic Church. Father Henning was pretty amazing as well. But he would get off of the altar, come down and gather with the children, which I always would believe it's, the thought process of Jesus and everybody that would want to hear him. We think back, and I think a lot of us need to open up the Bible a little bit more and read and interpret and go into Bible studies. And it's, to me, the reason I love Bible study is that people all come together and everyone's discussing going, oh, so you take that this way. Well, I think Paul's saying this, or I think James is saying this, or again, New Testament, Old Testament, open your mind. It really is to get rid of that tense feeling in life and open your mind to, oh my gosh, I've read that, or I've heard that scripture time and time again, but I've never thought of it that way. Why do you think we all have different minds? If we were all walking around this earth the exact same way, how boring would life be? There's a reason why we all are educated in a certain way. We grow up in different regions so that we can come together and go, oh my gosh, I was raised like this, but this is what I got from it. Oh, so maybe you're drawing back to it. So I was also raised Catholic, Rose, but I wouldn't say I didn't get anything out of it. I would just say I was looking for more connection. I was looking for more passion in the person that's delivering the message to me. That is truly what I feel right now with Greg, oh my gosh, the lead pastor at the Crossing at the Chesterfield location, might be one of the best speakers I've ever seen. I've got to get him on this show. I would just love to sit with him because when he speaks, I get chills. It's just like what Kelly Lang is talking about in that song. Do you get head to toe chills, or are you void of that kind of connection? Do you know what goosebumps are? Or do you live your life cold? Do you live your life that you've never had the hair stand up on the back of your neck, the lump in your throat, the tears in your eyes, the movement of a picture, a flower, a child laughing, a song? I mean, I've got chills from head to toe right now. Why is that? I believe that's God saying, speak my word. I think it's my dad saying, trust your faith. Now, I'm going to tell you, our movement of our Richmond Heights location going to where we are now in Fenton, that is an absolute leap of faith. For about 2 years, I was in this building. That building wasn't serving me. I surrounded myself with this team. And in that team, I asked, get out. Tell people about this show. Tell them to wake up this way. Let them light themselves on fire. And I mean that not obviously in the physical sense, please, but in the sense of, oh my gosh, I am just firing on so many cylinders, all because of this community that came together, that believed in one another, that had the guts to talk, calmly and to listen, really, really listen to each other. That's the most powerful thing we can do. Sit, listen. Not waiting for that person to be done talking to then have you speak, but to listen to each other and to do what? Form kindness with each other, to teach each other, to educate each other. That is the meaning of life to me. From a young child who can teach us so much to a senior who has been there and seen it. That's the generation pull of talking together, to get rid of the divide that we have in life. We've got some really horrible people that walk this earth, but we have some incredibly kind people as well. Do we focus more on the negative, ignorant, vicious people that are trying to attack our world? Well, I don't know why we would. I instead am seeking out the good. And when I talk about, hey, would you like us to have a particular guest on the show, a topic on the show? I mean that. That's what it says here, to reach out to me. Tell me about the good that's going on in the world and let me be the storyteller. It's why I got into the media business, because the power of the camera, the power of the microphone is one of the most incredible things that we can have. Let us tell the story and let us light you up and let you believe in the good of humanity. That, to me, is what this show is all about, and growing and growing and growing. Well, we went from Richmond Heights over to Fenton because of the team that's saying, I want to sell your show, Monica. There are so many businesses that I know that would want to be behind your show. Why wouldn't they? Don't you want to put the name of your business behind this so that it's good paired with good? On the unfortunate side is the gentleman that I started the show with, he ended up getting busy. And then literally it's been a year that he hasn't done anything for the show. And so I didn't have anybody out there besides myself and Michelle selling the show, doing the mobile Monicas, bringing sponsors in. And by the way, I want to thank our current sponsors as we've now gotten into the month of February. And one of them is right here, the guy that I do Wet Your Whistle Wednesday with. And please watch those, whether you watch it live and you have you mocktail or a cocktail with us. If you can't have one at 4:00 in the afternoon, maybe watch it later. But we're doing that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Chuck Gillentine, thank you from the bottom of my heart for believing in my show and being a part of this with Defiance Ridge Vineyards. But you please do me the favor and support those that support us. Go out there when you get and you gather with your friends. Go out and visit Chuck. Tell him, hey, I love your segment. Or you tell me, do you have a business and you would like for us to have a Mobile Monica live from your business? We take the show, we bring it to your business, and we connect kindness with kindness. We also have a heck of a lot of eyes on your business, not just the day of the Mobile Monica, but in the weeks leading up to it, and then in the weeks after, and even months after when we turn these promos, and suddenly you're still showing up in promos. Trust me, all those guests that have had us on have been thrilled because there's restaurants, there's festivals, there's farmers markets, there's retail shops that are still appearing in these wonderful promos. And all it does from a marketing standpoint is keep them around in your mind, right? So thank you to Chuck Gillentine with Defiance Ridge Vineyards as well. Thank you to Jessica Cook with Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa. So when it comes to grooming, getting the nails done, boarding your dogs, maybe it's a day or it's weeks or months that you're going to be away. Think about our friends at Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa, Cottleville in O'Fallon, Missouri. And then I love the component of the rescue side. That's why we do Positive Talk Time. And I know a lot of you love that. It's coming back this coming Thursday. I will be back with Jessica. So that's two of our main sponsors. And of course, thank you to everyone in the last year and a half that has had us out for a Mobile Monica. And that is far and wide in many different areas. Okay. All right. So we go back to Rose. Rose said that she didn't get anything out of being raised Catholic. She and her husband go to a Christian church, brought out the best of the two of them. I feel all these points Monica is explaining. My church family has brought out my spirituality. All right. Audra, I have my personal relationship with the universe and life energy. There we go. Meditation, connection with earth. You know, a lot of people talk about grounding. Have you ever done that before? Why not keep an open mind and just being led to it instead of having an avergence? That I think might be the problem with a lot of organized religion. It is, you can't believe in spirituality, you can't believe in meditation, you can't believe in acupuncture, can't believe in Eastern culture medicine. What is grounding? You can't do that. Here's an interesting one. I consider myself to be very Christian, very faith-based, and even tied into religion. I feel like I can be all of those. But I also am fascinated by a person who says that they can talk to those that are up above that are no longer here with us, our family, our relatives, our friends, the people who say that they're mediums. Is that one a controversy to you? Because I have a dear friend who said, no way. Like, that's more the work of the devil. How is that the work of the devil? They're talking to our angels. Again, this is my own belief, but I am fascinated, and I truly believe people have that gift. When we showed that slide earlier of the person sitting and all of those colors lighting up, I am one of the people who see in color. I've talked about this before. When I am really opened up to that connection path to God, Jesus, my Father, whoever is up above guiding me, I see purple. That is the highest. That is the crown chakra. That to me means you are operating on every possible level that you can. But there's the throat chakra, there's the heart chakra, and it goes on and on and on. I would tell you to look into it. Educate yourself on what that slide means, by the way. But do you think that's controversial to say that I believe in someone that feels the energy of our lost souls? Does it scare you? It doesn't scare me. It fascinates me, by the way. But I do think it's an interesting topic that if I brought a medium on this show, would you all have an issue with that? If you are in what you consider more to be a organized religion, does that not mesh with your brain or with your heart or your spirit? Feel free to tell me. Why would that be? Okay, so meditation, connection with earth, the way I choose. To me, Audra says religion is more structured with beliefs that fall under shared practice. It's a personal choice how we choose to connect with a higher power. Beautiful, very intelligent comment, by the way. Audra, thank you. Barbie Broomer watching on Facebook. Barbara, I'm Catholic and believe in Buddha, meditation, and teachings. Barbie, excuse me. I'm saying Barbara and Barbie. Barbie Broomer, wow. You are very evolved. I would like you. I would love for you to visit our Lithuanian Catholic Chapel in East St. Louis. Barbie, do me a favor. Shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. I'm there and I will bring people with me. I would love to. Lithuanian Catholic Chapel in East St. Louis. Fantastic. Barbie, thank you for watching. Are you newer to the show? I think maybe we've talked before. Kind of sound like your name might be familiar to me. I love that. And you seem very evolved. I would love to sit and have lunch with you. Linda Eckert, born and raised Catholic. I will attend the Catholic Church occasionally, but always open to others. Very good. And have attended others. I think I'm both religious and spiritual. Linda, you and I both. God welcomes anyone. Yes. Thank you. God welcomes anyone at any time, no matter why, no matter where, no matter why. Absolutely. So there are people, and okay, let's say this. When I walk into a new church, which happened when we first went to the crossing in Fenton, it was literally like the Red Sea parted. Jim was all dressed up. It was, by the way, it was Easter. So Jim was all dressed up in a suit. I was dressed up in a dress. I had a hat on. Again, just wanting to feel beautiful and handsome for God. And it was like I had 5 eyeballs. Jim and I had 5 eyeballs. And I looked around and it was people in sweats and jeans. I'll never judge, but for me, it's an honor to dress up for the good Lord. Do we have to? No. And does he judge? No. But don't judge us for dressing up just as much as I won't judge you for wearing jeans. I wouldn't wear jeans to church. I wouldn't wear sweatpants. I wouldn't wear pajama bottoms, but I'm not going to judge because you're coming and you're seeking and you're probably lost, by the way. I mean, why do people go to church? To feel good, hopefully to connect to the community, to a community that is like-minded, but hopefully to be a better person, to actually listen to the speaking and to listen to the word of God and to walk away from that and to have a changed life. If you are very bitter inside or very black feeling inside, very dark inside, it is to ignite and have the light that we're all seeking. Julie said, I say thank you, God, for life, health, and strength and waking me up this morning. Beautiful. Love it. Rose, I respect people with different opinions. Amen, sister. And how they see God or don't see him. To me, God is everywhere. I say all the time, even if I spend a lifetime praising God and then I die and he never existed, I still rather believe in God while here on earth. Yep. So for the people that would say that they're atheist or even agnostic, and they don't understand how we can believe, to me, I agree with you, Rose. Every day I feel better because I believe that he does exist. And it just makes me feel more connected to kindness in the world. It makes me feel a sense of belief and hope. Actually, it's more about the word hope, isn't it? That I hope that he is. The other conversation that we don't have time for today is there an after? Where do we go when we're gone from here? Oh, there's my chill. See? And I think that's him talking to me. I believe there is. My belief. You believe whatever you believe, but my belief is it doesn't just end when we're gone, because all these chills that I'm getting right now, I have to believe are from those above that we've lost, that are trying to tell us how absolutely beautiful and incredible it is. And to me, there's too many documented things of people who have almost died, who have said they've seen the face of God. I'm going to tell you my own experiences. When I tell you I see color, when I see beautiful white light, I believe that's him. And every day that I thank him for giving me another day with breath in my lungs and another beautiful day here on earth, I feel like I have a conversation, and I don't feel I'm talking to myself, by the way. So she says, I say all the time, even if I spend a lifetime praising God and then I die and he never existed, I still rather believe in God while here on earth. I don't know what I would do without him in my life and can't imagine getting by without him. The thing that I love is that more and more people are not hiding their love. I mean, we're talking young kids. We're talking 20-something-year-olds. We're seeing there's a place called Omen Coffee, by the way, that I would love to get to. I wanted to do a mobile Monica from there, but I won't say but. We'll see. If it's meant to be, it will happen. I know that there are a lot of people that are gathering there. It's in the city. They actually have 2 locations, and they have been so successful that they have a Bible study that is growing and growing and growing. You've got what is it? Legit Sadie Robb, I think it is, on Instagram. She's so popular in a younger 20-something-year-old probably generation. She's a pastor. There's a Girls Gone Bible, I think it is, podcast. There's all these things that are coming out. Celebrities, actors, actresses, NFL players, NHL players, Major League Baseball players. No longer are people sitting and saying, I can't talk about faith. Nope. Instead, now they're saying, I give it all. I give the glory to God, right? The God-given talents that we're given, and then we hone them. I love this movement that's taking place. It really excites me. Audra, Barbie, my family is Lithuanian. I'd love to bring my mom to your chapel. Let's connect. She speaks fluent Lithuanian. Well, Audra, you and your mom, and if my mom is willing, my mom and myself will go to Barbie's church. I think that would be a blast. And then we'll go to brunch afterwards with Barbie. Rose, I don't mean I got nothing. Okay, we didn't read the Bible. The priest did. Yes, our Bibles were dusty. Now I read the Bible and pertain it to life. My mom was a devout Catholic. She was one of the most awesome women in the world. Monica, I slept every Mass. I don't sleep now. I'm alive. You just gave me a chill. Just my experience. My aunt got upset when I left the Catholic Church. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic of why do you internalize that? I think that here's what I believe, and I wish if my mom was on, that maybe she would say, probably because there's a lot of time and energy and money, for that matter, spent on a Catholic upbringing. But as I've always told my mom, it did not go to waste. I listened to all of that. However, my ears are more open. My eyes are more open. My spirit is more alive than it's ever been. And it's a connection to what I learned when I was younger. Now I'm hearing those teachings all over again, but I'm hearing it from a person who doesn't sit behind a podium up in an altar, flipping through the book, not even really knowing the words, but stepping away and connecting with the congregation and making it connect to real life things that are happening with us in all generations, by the way. That's what I love and what I'm hearing now. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to turn away if mom says, can we go to a Catholic church? Yes, I just asked that, Mom, go to Catholic church with me, but also come over here to this Christian church or this Lithuanian church or this Lutheran church, or let's just open our mind. What's Muslim talking about? What's Buddhist talking about? I even would say, what in the heck is Scientology? Just tell me. For me, I guess I'm a student of life. I like to be educated. And some people would say, oh, no, go away from Scientology. But do we understand it? Why do people turn to it? Why do so many exist, by the way? To me, that's where, again, I can't wait for us to, and I wanted to do this so bad at our old location, but we've got so many opportunities to come, by the way. And we've got a ribbon cutting that I hope so many of you come to when we open our studio. And I'm thinking we'll be done with that, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, some exciting things to come. When we do that, I then want to launch that live stage with a live audience so I can go around and give you hugs and say thank you for watching and thank you for speaking and thank you for not being silent. Open up and let's connect more. So she says, I'm alive. Just my experience. My aunt got upset when I left the Catholic Church. My mom wasn't. She was happy that I had God in my life. That's really what you want, right? Barbie, Audra, she would love to speak to some of our elders who know the language. We have Mass every Sunday at 11 a.m. This Sunday, we will have soup and sandwiches after Mass. Our chapel is in a historical building. All right, Barbie, I got to tell you, I doubt I could get my husband to come over this Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sunday. But stay in touch with me, and I promise you, and I do not ever make a promise, and don't continue with it. Oh, Barbie, you're a friend of Rip. Rip did a beautiful painting of me. Thank you, by the way, Rip Costaris. So that's how I found you. We would love to give you a tour of our beloved historical chapel. We're having soup and sandwiches. Yeah, not this Sunday. Give me another Sunday, and I promise I'll be there. Let's have a show about afterlife. Yes, Rose, I agree. I agree with that. Let's have a show about afterlife. I would love to know what you all feel about the afterlife. That's an interesting one. We're going to table that one. We don't have time for that one today. Okay. Final quick break. And then we're going to talk about our devotional and how Jesus listens to us, and also tell you about some exciting things to come. Don't go anywhere.
Monica, I can't thank you enough for having me on your show. I'm just so blessed and grateful. Finding people like yourself and those that you interview is priceless. Being able to spread hope and joy, love, empowerment, encouragement, and letting everyone know that sharing their story is extremely powerful and their story is so unique and they need to share their story because you don't know who you will impact and change, and it could change the trajectory of someone's entire day or the trajectory of their entire life by just hearing your story. And for you to be able to share everyone's story and let people know they're not alone, thank you so much for doing that. And the intentionality is fabulous. I love you already. We've known each other for several months now, but I'm so glad that we were able to do this together and great things to come. So thank you so much for everything you do. Your show is amazing. You are amazing, and you're just an inspiration to everyone. So I appreciate you. I'm blessed to be here, and thank you.
Amy Post, thank you. And that's the other thing. When people come in to do the show, we always have them do kind of a post wrap of what they felt. When they walked in, they may have been very nervous. And I hope that when they left, that they felt the kindness that we showed them. A little social media check-in. I like to see where everyone's watching from. Facebook and X, we always have our biggest audience. Rumble's really coming up. YouTube. Boy, we had 150-something people watching that show with Paula in Chianti, cooking with her. And so we got more people watching from Italy now. Thank you. And welcome to all of you that watch from all over the world. I would love for those of you that are local to come here with me on Galentine's. February 13th, we're going to Stone House of St. Charles. It has been a beautiful location for a lot of weddings, but now turning it into a beautiful event space for multiple things, including this. Grab that QR code, all right? If you haven't purchased your tickets, what are you waiting for? We're talking about 400 women that can come together for Galentine's night, which is February 13th. 5 p.m. is when we're going to start our broadcast. I'd love for you to come early, by the way, and come on to the show. Meet me in person, meet my team. Michelle will be there. I'm hoping some other girlfriends, maybe my family members can be there as well. 6 to 9 p.m., ages 21 and up, signature cocktails, themed charcuterie, games, prizes, a handful of rounds of music, bingo, and don't forget to come early to do some shopping. We're talking about permanent jewelry, some really awesome hats. There's going to be a photo booth and so much more. Again, the live broadcast, the shopping, the drinks, the food, and the fun. It's on February 13th. And then you can go for Valentine's dinner, February 14th. They're going to have February 14th and 15th, by the way, a romantic dinner. And on Friday night, the 14th, Abby Stahlschmidt will be strolling around the tables, and she will be providing beautiful music. So it's a true experience. Instead of just going out, making reservations at just any restaurant, why don't you support those that support us? Stone House of St. Charles. It's going to be a blast. And maybe you go on Galentine's and Valentine's. Go with your girlfriends and then go with your loved ones. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again for a beautiful, wonderful show. I love the interaction that you gave us today. And if you feel like making more comments once the show wraps up, please do so. If you watch later, just do a little hashtag replay for me. Okay, so again, Jesus listens. We've talked a lot about faith today. So he was listening to us and believing in what we believe in. So on February 4th, brilliant Jesus, help me to cast off the works of darkness. I talked about hoping to have light inside of us and put on the armor of light, wearing this bright protective covering with a grateful heart. The darkness of this world is prevalent all around me. See, but I don't focus on the darkness. I know there's more light out there. Your beautiful light armor enables me to see things more clearly, protects me from being led astray by the worldness that surrounds me, that might gear itself towards more darkness. I delight in walking in the light with you, living close to you, aware of your loving presence. Just as I put clothes on my body each morning, I need to clothe myself with you every day. This nearness to you helps me make better decisions. Nonetheless, I sometimes make bad choices. That's life, right? We're human beings. That led me into sin. Whenever this happens, though, please remind me that your sacrifice on the cross was sufficient for all my sins. That is a really powerful sentence. Moreover, your precious sacrificial blood cleanses me so I can keep walking in the light. The Bible assures me that if I confess my sins, you are faithful and just to forgive me and cleanse me from all unrighteousness. I rejoice in you, my Savior, in your merciful name. Amen. And I do hope that you enjoy these devotionals that we give you, whether they be from Jesus Listens, Jesus Calling, from the 100 Days to Freedom books, or if there's anything else, by the way, because I really love for you to have a big part in this life of this show. If there's anything that you would like us to read that's really going to light you up and things that you need to hear a little bit more of, just let me know. I'd be happy to incorporate them on our show. All right, tomorrow, Brian Austin Green is going to join us. Do you remember him from 90210? Brian is going to talk about men's health. We've got a segment with him, and then we're going to do a little wellness talk. And if you'd like, I can incorporate some more of our workouts. I did a workout with my clients the other day. They are still texting and telling me how sore their butt is, how sore their legs are, how sore their hips are, how sore their stomach is. It was a phenomenal workout that you literally do not need anything but your body. So I used to do motivational moments with Monica, and I'd really like to sprinkle those back in now that we're in a new location and I have that opportunity. A beautiful gym is being built in the location where our new show is. If you didn't watch yesterday, it's okay. I would say watch here forward, because you would have to be very forgiving, of poor Zach yesterday. He, maybe he knew, maybe the universe knew that he was struggling a little bit, and he'll be back on his game come Monday morning. Monday, by the way, we are going to have two guests on. Our friend Hats by Diane Isbell, and then she's bringing a friend in named Shelly. We're going to talk about juvenile diabetes. And on Tuesday, I just mentioned that we're going to have the pastor from Collinsville, David Hawkins, will be my guest. Looking forward to those. Thursday, we've got Positive Talk Time this coming Thursday. Friday, Dot Fleshman joins us with our Friendship Friday and Real Estate Talk. And then again, don't forget, we've got a double show for you tomorrow. We might do a little shortened version tomorrow so I can save my voice, if that's okay with all of you, please. Because at 4:00, we will be live from Defiance Ridge Vineyard. By the way, some people have asked, can you come out for that? Oh my gosh, of course. The winery is open. Come, have a drink with us, have an incredible board with us, enjoy some time together. Maybe even we'll let you be on the show. That is an idea we have moving forward, by the way, kind of like what a lot of the wineries did during the pandemic. They would feature a particular wine and you would have it at your house and you'd open it up and we would join via Zoom and you'd be talking to the winemaker, you'd be talking to the owner of the winery. We're talking about doing something similar to that, where maybe a couple of you win a bottle of wine and you join us from your home. Would you like that? Maybe if you're not available live at 4:00, that we could do a little segment and then we pitch to your segment and hear what you have to say about the wine. I'd like to get you all talking more about these incredible that we have from Chuck, either from wines that he makes or in the collaborations that he has in Napa Valley. So again, exciting things to come, and more mobile Monicas are in the works. Let me know, work behind the scenes, because again, $150 cold hard cash comes to you if you have a business that has us come for a mobile Monica or becomes a regular sponsor of the show. We need more of that to keep the show going. Thank you all so much. Beautiful talk today. And thank you for all of your interaction. I hope you have a beautiful day. And remember, be kind. God bless you all.